It takes 40 minutes by ferry to get from our island to the mainland. I suppose some people must cross every day for work, and we always went once a year for class trips to museums and cultural centers. But other than that, it all feels very far away. It's easy to tell the difference between us and the ferry people. The ferry people are loud and excited and carry large backpacks. They have come to stomp across cerulean shores in their hiking boots to buy fresh fish from the marketplace. We laugh at their self-assuredness, the paleness of the skin on the undersides of their arms. I will never become a ferry person, I thought then, and I never have. There is something painfully sad and real about them. They go back to routines and lives that make sense. When they get off the boat, their feet plant solidly into grounded earth. Secure, certain. Did you think that too, when we made fun of them? I'm not sure. When we colored together on the floor of your bedroom in elementary school, as I drew fish and squids and deep-sea creatures, you drew fairy people, with violent t-shirts and insect-like sunglasses. Your colored pencils traced the contours of their bodies, gently, lovingly. The last time I ever left the island, on a school trip to the aquarium, I started to forget things. I couldn't remember the color of my house or which street we turned on to get to school in the morning, or in which tide pool we found crabs glittering like illicit rubies. Like the island is only truly real when you exist on it. Maddie, I called to you panickedly, and we focused hard on the ferry ride back, watching the silvery tops of trees emerge from the mist, making sure it was still there. I'm not sure if you remember this, Maddie, or if you've been gone too long, but this is why people came to our island, to build fairy houses. There is a festival every summer where lute music plays tinnily from hooked-up speakers and piles of wishing stones are erected next to the pond, and kids dart around in fluorescent fairy wings. There's a copse of woods in the center of the island where a sign encourages you to gather moss and bark and pebbles and make little homes against the trees, to build miniature tables out of sticks to whittle a mushroom cap into the front door. The fairy people come in the stark starch of their cotton t-shirts, and they build tiny structures with large fumbling hands. They wait for the fairies to come. They take pictures with their shiny cameras. Eventually, they go home. I feel bad for them, you told me once. It's like they trek all the way out here for something that's just fake and manufactured. I guess, I said, but there's something really good about just building that little house, though, don't you think? And waiting. I'm not sure that you felt the same way about it that I did. Once or twice I saw you sneaking through the woods from the corner of my eye, disturbing the winding pebbled paths of each home just slightly, leaving little half-eaten fragments of berry in the vestibules for the fairy people to find them. I kissed you for the first time we were ever drunk, in Nate's party during a summer I no longer remember. It was suffocating and crowded and impossible to hear anything. We were older then. We had outgrown our summer bodies. I followed you to the row of alcohol that sat on a ledge of a basement we were in, and you mixed 2 different dark liquids in my cup. I laughed. A girl we kind of knew was getting more to drink too. Hey, she said, her grin flickering, flashing at us. Hey, you and I said at the same time. Or 1 beat apart, flickering too. An outsider's perspective. Hey, said Maddie, and Maddie's ghost. I like your shirt so much, she said shyly. You were wearing something pink with ruffles on the shoulders that glistered newly and tightly. Thanks, you said, and grinned widely, and touched my forearm, and we turned away, our cups sloshing. I stopped suddenly, in the middle of the mass of people, flushed, aware of something creeping up on me. Shit, I said, shit, pulling one of your puffy sleeves. My pants were tearing along the side seam where my calf strained against them, inching all the way up as I tightened my thigh, frayed threads devouring me. It's okay, you said, and took my hand, and we weaved through the people. You pulled me inside a coat closet in the hallway and tugged your sewing kit out of your purse. You licked the thread and pulled it through the eye. It was a secret then, still, but you had told me you wanted to be a designer. When you are finished, my pant leg is tighter than before. Contained. When the night got hazier, and everyone else left to be outside or whatever, we were still sprawled in the closet. I wondered what the other girl was doing out there. I remembered the whale summers and summers ago. I thought of something I had learned since then, that whales beach themselves because they are hurt or chasing smaller, nimbler creatures, or because the noise of ships and machinery drowns out their echolocation abilities. Your fingers traced inscrutable designs on my wrist, gently moving up my arm. I turned because I felt the night had reached this timbre, this quivering sheen, and I leaned over to you half buried under coats and kissed you softly on the lips. A pause. I can't tell if you are surprised. Your shadow has peeled up from the ground. She is wearing the same scrunchie as you. Her shadow tongue has slipped inside your mouth like she is begging you to sew it down there, where it belongs. You laughed in my ear, low and mean. Be careful, Kristen, you said. You know this is not what we are.